Today we're taking 3 chefs and their respective chocolate mousse recipes. We're gonna have a cage match. It's a cage match. Hello everyone, welcome back to my home and what is your home for a brief moment in time here. But we're gonna have another cage match and I thought you may wanna be here for this one because it's always a good day when you get to make chocolate mousse 3 times. Let me introduce the chefs. Choose your fighter. We're gonna start off with Julia Child, of course. Our reigning champion right here. She really did clean up during the beef bourguignon cage match. Look out. How about Julia's buddy, the French legend Jacques Pepin? And I've been cooking recipes out of this book the last little bit, so it felt like the right call to include him in this cage match. But I'm not gonna make it easy for these two because it's TK. There's no room for this book. Thomas Keller, make room please, make room. And whatever tricks he has up his sleeve today, it's always a wild ride when TK's in town. Nearly went insane last time. Yeah, you know, I nearly went insane last time. Whoa! I think it's a fairly level playing field today. Looking for silky smooth chocolate mousse. It's gotta be rich, decadent, of course delicious. See which one I like the most. First up, Julia Child and mastering the art of French cooking. My favorite French name for chocolate mousse in this cookbook is mayonnaise au chocolat. Chocolate mayonnaise, right. Among all the recipes for chocolate mousse, mayonnaise, this is one of the best. It uses egg yolks, sugar, and butter, and instead of cream, beaten egg whites. Keep that part in mind, the egg whites versus the cream, because that's gonna pop up in the other recipes too. And it wouldn't be a Julia Child dessert without some orange flavoring in there as well. I've made this recipe before, and it was mind-blowing, of course, but there were issues. As per usual, lessons learned and things that I'm gonna have to look out for today too if I'm not careful, such as chocolate seizing up, which I hate when that happens. Make a vow, it's not happening today. Also, my chocolate mousse had like a grainy quality to it. I think it was from the egg whites. I don't want that to happen either. So let's not make it so. Shall we? Boom-y. Thank you. All right, let's start this off with 4 egg yolks. Julia recommends this thing called instant sugar. Quick to dissolve, super fine. I'm sure you could just use the regular stuff in a pinch, and that's 3/4 cup. So I'm gonna beat this thing until it reaches the ribbon stage. Here's the granny. Do that once you're in the bowl. There you go. Until it's thick and pale yellow. I'm using Cointreau, but you could just use orange juice, I'm sure. Or how about vanilla, if you so please. But no, orange liqueur it is today, and I need 1/4 cup with, what am I using? Let's beat that in. I have a bowl of cold water. And on the stove, I have the saucepan full of not so simmering water. Continue the party over here, 3 to 4 minutes until this is foamy. It's gotta be too hot to touch. Into the cold water. So we're beating for another 3 to 4 minutes until we reach that ribbon stage again. When I lift up the beaters and the mix falls from them in like a trail and hangs out on the surface for a little bit before it disappears and blends in with everything else, those are the ribbons. So that this thing doesn't dry out, I think if I put something like this on top, and then let's just put this over here. Wait, what are you doing in there? Today's episode is sponsored by Blueland. When I'm making this show, or just like cooking in general, I have a tendency to use nearly every single dish that I own. Just one of my things. And it leaves me with like an unbelievable mess. That's why I have Blueland's dishwasher starter kit over here, and it's always here in times of trouble. Because this dishwasher is gonna get a workout. And this little guy has all the power without the plastic. Did you know that we're all eating and drinking a credit card's worth of plastic a week? And that film around your typical dishwasher pods is actually plastic. And then that ends up contaminating our water, ends up in the ocean, into the soil, the rest of it. Blueland's products are people and planet friendly because they have no plastic waste. There is no single-use plastic in any component, from bottles, tablets, wrappers, to shipping. And look at that,
That's clean as a whistle. I also have the laundry starter kit, and when I have the luxury of hanging in my cozy laundry room for a day, it's the same deal with these tablets. In they go, and voila. Blueland is sharing a special offer just for my viewers, so click the link in the description to get 15% off your first kit. Thank you, Blueland. Let's get back to work.
I got 6 ounces of semi-sweet chocolate chunks here, cut up into smaller pieces so that it melts quicker. We gotta melt this chocolate. Julia uses the double boiler like we just did because this book was probably written before everyday use of the microwave. But I like to use the microwave to melt my chocolate because it is just perfect results every time. Smooth and glossy and velvety. And where is the tablespoon? So yeah, I'm gonna melt the chocolate in the microwave. So in with the chocolate, 4 tablespoons of a strong coffee. 25-second intervals until the damn thing is melted. Perfect melted chocolate, 99% of the time. There was that one time. Smooth and glossy. I gotta go fetch a friend. The Silver Fox. Silver Fox. It's not that I like to dirty up everything in the kitchen when I make these recipes, but I saw Julia making this on her show, and she was using her stand mixer, and then she put it off to the side and was doing other things at the same time. So I was like, okay, well I have a Silver Fox, I'll do the same. So it is a quick way to get things done. 1.5 sticks of unsalted softened butter. And I'm gonna cream this together until it's creamy. All right, we're looking good. Add in the chocolate. Okay, that looks beautiful. You made a mess, but it still looks beautiful. So with the egg yolks and the sugar, I'm gonna do what Julia did, which is she added it in to the stand mixer. And just put this off to the side. Keep it going until it all comes together. Follow me. Thank you. 4 egg whites, pinch of salt. Then we're gonna mix this all the way to stiff peaks. Once that's foamy, tablespoon of sugar, cream of tartar. There's a 1/4 teaspoon of it. Now this is a critical moment. As I said, my mousse, first time I made it was all grainy, and I think it's because I probably over whipped my egg whites. So I gotta make sure I'm not doing that, because when you do so, they get all like watery and it's just kind of not great. Move the beater all around. That's stiff peaks. Stiff peaks. We're good over here. So, wow. It's crazy how good this looks already. So I'm gonna fold in my egg whites, start with a little, just casually mix in a little bit to start. Once we got all the consistencies on the same page, I'm gonna add in the rest of these stiff peaks. Grip your spatula like so, down to the edge, up and over. And rapidly turning the bowl while you do it. Oh, this looks airy. You want to make sure that those egg whites keep their air bubbles. I don't know, like what do you think? I think that looks pretty good. So I've added the mousse into these champagne glasses to make it a little more elegant. I was originally going to go with these, and then I was like, no, that's way better. Because once you make a decision, you have to follow suit with the other 2 recipes. That looks nice. I'm going to get these into the fridge for at least 2 hours, but I'm going to keep them in there until all the other chocolate mousses are finished. Okay, obviously there's going to be a lot of leftover chocolate mousse. I'm prepared for that. I'm just going to keep this in an airtight container, and I'm going to freeze it or give it away or both. Next up, Jacques Pepin's Essential Pepin Cookbook. Okay, so I've been making a bunch of recipes out of this cookbook recently. Most recently, I made a dessert that had chocolate in it. And we're gonna make something that looks nothing like that.
As I mentioned earlier, there are two different types of chocolate mousses. This one has heavy cream instead of the egg whites. So he says it's made with a warm emulsion of egg yolks and sugar and finished with cream. It is the most classic of chocolate mousses. His words. Was the one that I just made not classic enough for Jacques? Cognac works well with chocolate. So party on with that, and we should get started. I'm gonna need to open that, so keep it opened. Bowl. Thank you. 4 large egg yolks. So I have 1/3 cup of sugar. I have to remove 2 tablespoons, put them over on this little thing here, and then the rest goes in with the egg yolks. Okay, and same deal as last time, double boiler. Simmering water in a saucepan. So we're whisking for 2 to 3 minutes until it's fluffy, smooth, and doubled in size. I assume we remove that from the heat. I'm gonna do what I did with Julia's, cover it up. So I'm gonna need some heavy cream and a chilled bowl. Thank you. 2 cups of heavy cream. And to all the people out there that wonder why I don't scrape out the remaining heavy cream, I always do, I just don't include it in the videos. So here you go, this one's for you. And the reserved 2 tablespoons of sugar. I should note that this isn't super fine instant sugar this time around. Jacques has no mention of that, so I'm just using granulated. So using the old granny here, I'm gonna whip this up until it's soft peaks. Under no circumstances are you to over whip this whipped cream. He says until soft peaks. I think that's fairly soft. It's hard to be certain. So just, now Julia's recipe is using semi-sweet chocolate. Thomas Keller's is gonna be using bittersweet chocolate. Jacques says you could do one or the other, so I figure why don't you split the difference. 10 ounces or 5 and 5 of bittersweet and semi-sweet chocolate. Cut it up into small pieces. Jacques' cookbook here was written in the microwave era, so he's giving you the option between the microwave or the double boiler, but I always choose microwave, as we have learned. It is the same deal as last time, 30-second intervals or 25. Just watch it. He says to not scorch the chocolate, shoots he scores, and I won't. Oh, I won't. Another success story. So combine the chocolate in with the egg yolk. Cognac. How about some Hennessy? 2 tablespoons. So if this mixture starts to seize, or break down, immediately stir in 1 to 2 tablespoons of whipped cream to smooth out the mix. It's starting to seize. Don't seize on me. Please don't seize this. Come on, come on, come on. It's seizing on me. It's seizing. He said to add in 1 to 2 tablespoons of whipped cream. If it seizes, I did so and it's still seizing. Add in 1 more tablespoon of whipped cream, hope and a prayer. It did kind of work, so I'm gonna add in the remaining whipped cream. Cut through the side to the bottom and over, and rotate the bowl just like Julia's. And this is now coming together beautifully after I had originally thought it had seized. Is a miracle. All right, that's all combined together. It looks like an entirely different thing than Julia's. It's way too thick. It's all my fault. And yeah, this will not fare well in the cage match if this is what is presented. So I'm gonna redo Jacques' recipe. I'm gonna save this because it's delicious. Maybe make some brownies out of it or something. Chilled bowl. Thank you. I will clean up the mess later. 2 cups of heavy cream, 2 tablespoons of sugar. This time around, I'm gonna add the cognac in with the egg yolk mixtures, 2 tablespoons. Okay, that looks better. So I got the melted chocolate here. How hot is it? Chocolate is just warm. Come on, please, please, please. Add a little. How does that work? Okay, so far so good.
Hey, you tempered the egg yolks, there you go. Add in the rest of the chocolate. Come on, do not seize for the love of. In fact, that looks pretty good. Come on, a little more. Okay, fantastic. He said to do this with a rubber spatula. Come on, come on. Don't seize, you little bastard. Come on, don't seize. It's looking good. A little more chocolate. This time around, I didn't split the difference with the chocolate. It's all bittersweet. You know, beggars can't be choosers. That looks nice. It looks nice. It looks nice. Gently fold in the whipped cream. Little to start. It's looking good. It's looking good. Don't jinx it. Hell yeah, this looks beautiful. It worked, it worked. You can see the difference between my first attempt and the second attempt. This is what I was going for. It's nice and airy and lighter than whatever this is. Yeah, this isn't gonna fly. Hell yeah. Okay. So it's gonna get confusing really fast with all these chocolate mousse in my fridge. Market JP. And it's gonna go right beside Julia's until I'm ready for it. Friends and family, enemies, whoever wants some chocolate mousse, you know who to call. Final round, Thomas Keller's Bouchon cookbook. Now this cookbook has the recipes from Thomas Keller's Bouchon restaurant. Not just a clever name. It's like a French bistro vibe to it, and just looking at this recipe, I'm like, is this the easiest recipe of the 3 today? Couldn't be. Chocolate mousse is a standard bistro dessert, in part because it's so easy and quick to serve. Here it is in the classic form. Chocolate and butter melted together, cooled slightly and combined with egg yolks, then whipped cream and sweetened egg whites are gently folded into the mix. So as Julia's had only egg whites, Jacques only had the whipped cream. This one has both. Best of both worlds. Here we go. Boomy. Thank you. We're starting off with the chocolate this time. 4.5 ounces of bittersweet chocolate, finely chopped. 2 tablespoons of unsalted butter, diced. All right, and then special ingredient, I went to the coffee shop down the street and picked up a double of espresso. 2 tablespoons worth. That's 1 tablespoon, yeah. And a little, there we go. No mention of using a microwave to melt your chocolate at a restaurant that would be good enough to earn some Michelin stars. So we're gonna use the double boiler. Charlie Brown has entered the chat, and we're gonna stir frequently until smooth. But if this chocolate seizes, I am going to cry. Tell me what you see, Charlie Brown. It looks good. I mean, I was going off about how easy the microwave was for melting chocolate, but that was just as easy. Let it cool until the chocolate is just slightly warmer than body temperature. So things are starting to get a little repetitive here, aren't they? Boomy. Thank you. Because we got some whipped cream, 1 cup worth, soft peaks. Soft peaks. That hangs out in the fridge while we move on to something else. Another bowl. Thank you. 3 egg whites. You know what? I'm gonna need to clean the beaters. Okay, so once the egg whites are foamy, a tablespoon of sugar. Beating until soft peaks form again. Incredibly soft. So to test if the chocolate is warmer than body temperature, dab some on your bottom lip. It should feel warm. It does. Okay. When the chocolate has reached the proper temperature, fingers crossed, stir in the egg yolks. Stir them in. I don't know if I'm using it. Is that a fruit fly? I don't know if I'm using a mixer or just stirring in with like a fork. Doesn't specify. In go the 3 egg yolks. He says here if the chocolate is too cool, it's gonna seize when I add all these other ingredients.
So far so good, because if it does seize, I quit. I don't have any other extra chocolate. Gently stir in about 1/3 of the whipped cream. Please do not seize chocolate. Stir it in gently. Chocolate was room temperature. I added egg yolks. Everything was okay, copacetic. And then I added in cold whipped cream. And if it was gonna seize, it would seize now. So far, no seizures. Fold in half the egg whites. And then we fold in the remaining egg whites. And then we fold in the remaining whipped cream. And if you're just tuning in now, adding a little chocolate mousse into some champagne glasses, like it's been done twice before. TK, join the other two. Refrigerate up to 8 hours. That's it for now. We'll pick this up later. I figure I'm gonna serve all these chocolate mousses the same way today. I mean, Julia recommends like a creme anglaise to go with hers. Jacques recommends cream, and TK recommends like this cookie that I gotta make. But I figure just whipped cream for all three, that would be the way to go. Little chocolate shavings on the very top. That's it. Order up with a special guest.
Hi.
Okay.
I'm here.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Christy, everyone, Christy. What we gotta do today is, I can't do this chocolate mousse taste test on my own because they all look so similar. I need someone else to help me out with this.
I'm happy to help you out with this task. This looks delicious.
Well, you volunteered, actually.
I did.
So this is a blind taste test for you, not so blind taste test for me.
Yes.
Shall we begin?
Is this the order in which you made them?
No.
Oh, okay. Very light, very easy to scoop up. No air bubbles. Let's try it.
Whoa.
Oh my God, that's delicious.
Whoa, that texture's incredible.
It's really light, right?
That's so light. Good God.
Oh my God.
That's like the best chocolate mousse I've ever had.
It tastes like air, like chocolate flavored air. That's insane.
Oh my God, that's so good.
So good. I will say it tastes better than it looks even.
Are you picking up the mysterious flavor in there?
A little bit of orange.
That's it.
Are you serious?
Yes,
Oh,
it's
wow. Oh, yeah. Okay. It's not overpowering at all. And normally I don't even like orange and chocolate together. So the fact that I like this says a lot.
It's incredible.
Yeah, okay, I need to stop eating this.
I know, because we have 2 more to go.
That is,
All right.
do you want me to score it?
Cleanse your palate and continue. That was, it's gonna be tough to beat.
Oh, interesting. A little more dense in the texture.
Yeah.
This is a lot different. Richer, I think.
It's way different than that one.
This one has more of like an icing vibe
Yeah.
to it, like frosting almost.
Frosting.
Yeah, like that kind of tastes like something you would put on a chocolate cake. But the flavor itself is really nice.
It's the richest, most decadent one that we've had so far. It doesn't have that lightness that that one had. Cleanse your palate.
Cleansing. This one looks the most different out of all of them. It's lighter,
Yeah. It's got a different color.
but it looks the smoothest.
Yes.
It looks the nicest, I think.
If you were gonna order at a restaurant, you'd kind of expect it to look like that.
Yeah. This one makes me think that it might be more milk chocolate, whereas these were more dark chocolate. This one is
Very interesting, although maybe not 100% accurate.
really.
As Julia Child said, these desserts are not low cal, but they are light and lovely and delicious.
I'd agree with that. Oh, I would say more similar texture to the first one. Light, very easy to pierce. Whoa.
Okay.
Okay, so I definitely taste another ingredient in that.
Yeah.
Coffee.
Espresso.
Okay, yeah. Don't you think it does a crazy thing in your mouth?
Yeah, it's foamy.
Yeah, it like kind of takes over your whole mouth and almost like disintegrates or like evaporates.
Dissolves.
Flavor is not as intense.
Much subtler in the chocolate department.
Yes, yeah.
The chocolate is just toned down so
It's
much.
totally toned down, which maybe explains the color.
Yeah. Also, might I say, this one was specifically bittersweet chocolate. That's semi-sweet, and I think in the end I used bittersweet with this one, but
I can't really tell the difference, to be honest.
yeah.
It was good.
Did you clean your palate?
That one is so rich. Okay.
So, here we are. We have now tasted all 3 chocolate mousses. So, we're gonna grade this out of texture, flavor, and just an overall.
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
Ah. Am I influencing you, or this
No,
is you already
no,
have it?
I already have it in my head.
Okay. This one is a 9.
Flavor-wise,
Yeah.
9.5.
Okay. I'm gonna say 5 out of 10 on this one. Is that harsh?
6 out of 10.
Interesting.
Flavor-wise.
This is a 10. I love the flavor of that.
That's a 10?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll agree with that, a 10.
Wow.
It's really, flavor-wise, it's all there. It's just
Yeah.
the texture's
Yeah.
a bit off.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. 8.
A 9.
Okay, you're nicer than me.
Well, I made it.
Yeah, true. You have more of an attachment to
Yes,
it than I do.
this is my cookie.
With an 8 on that.
I'm giving that a 7 for flavor.
Interesting. Okay.
Let me reveal who's who. Julia Child, Jacques Pepin, Thomas Keller.
What?
Julia Child wins the cage match yet again.
The queen reigns.
Queen Julia.
Queen Julia reigns supreme.
Thank you very much
She can't be beat.
for coming, Christy.
She's the second queen in your life, right?
Yes. Aren't you late for work?
I'm really late for work. I gotta
Okay,
go.
thank you for coming.
Bye.
Well, that was just lovely. That's it. That's all. Cage match complete. This was Jamie and Julia and Jacques and TK. Bon appetit. See you later. That is just not what I was going for. The chocolate originally seized up and then I tried to fix it and it wouldn't really come back together. So it's nice. It's nice.